Spend the day with me as a childcare center owner. It has been quite a while since I have had a early 4:30 morning start, but my kids got to sleep in this morning and they were elated about that, and I was elated about the extra time I could just be by myself. Started off by putting all of this picture stuff away. Definitely let this room become the dumping ground, and I haven't had to clean it in quite some time, but today was definitely the day where it was going to get picked up. This was all of the stuff from our Christmas photo shoot from when we made those ornaments, and then we have those giant boxes over on the side because I do need to replace the furnace filters later this week. Once I felt like I was productive enough to say that I had completed something, I went ahead and I started working on my to-do list. It's New Year's Day, so that we are only open until 2 o'clock today, so I wanted to be as productive as I possibly could, as quickly as I could. I did realize during that productivity time when I was going through the handbook that I definitely left all of my trash out in that front area because I wasn't going to take it out at 5 o'clock by myself. The most time-consuming part of my day was definitely going through and revising each section of the handbook. This is just making sure that every section is up to date with what our policies are, that the verbiage is correct, and honestly that I don't have spelling errors. I also had to get prepped for some one-on-ones. I had started doing these with the managers back in the beginning of December. I managed to get 2 of them done, and then poof, December happened and here we are. We talk so much on an informal basis that sometimes I forget to prioritize these as much as I should, but I really want to make sure that I talk with all of the managers individually before we start talking about what our goals and initiatives are for 2026. That way, if any priorities need to be shifted, we can make sure we're doing that. At that time, it was about the time to close, or so we thought. We did have one kiddo that her parents forgot that we closed early. I stayed with one of the directors that I did have a one-on-one with at the beginning of December. One of the things that she had asked for extra support was just for me to check in on a weekly basis with her, and I put this on my calendar for Friday. Fortunately, with all of the holidays and vacations and things like that, checking in a formal capacity was not something that was working out. So we have to pivot, and I had to do this in an informal capacity, but this was the perfect opportunity. Once the child was picked up, I headed home, and the kids and I got to make our vision boards. I have wanted to do this for the past 2 years. Finally, I decided to get the stuff to be able to do it. They had an absolute blast making their vision boards. I got to practice my self-control on letting them do child-led art and not controlling how they made their boards. I think this is going to become a New Year's Eve tradition.